Okay, so today we are going to be doing some more right triangle trigonometry problems. We are starting by looking at the homework from last night. So the homework was to find all the missing sides and all the missing angles of a triangle. You could have used Pythagorean theorem as the last step, or sine, cosine, or tangent. You could have filled in the extra angle in the triangle by realizing that the triangle adds up to 180 degrees. The second page of answers, you were using the Pythagorean theorem on all those problems. So go ahead and you can pause the video now if you'd like and check the answers. Okay, we are talking about angle of elevation and angle of depression. They are the word problems for the right triangle trigonometry. The angle of elevation is always measured from the ground up. So it is this angle right here. So from horizontal, looking across, up. And it is always inside the triangle. X is going to mark the angle of the top of the tree as it's seen from a point on the ground. So it's from horizon looking up to the top of the tree. You can think of the angle of elevation in relation to the movement of your eyes. You are looking straight ahead. You must elevate or look up to the top of the tree. An angle of depression, which is the picture down below here, is always outside. So you're looking from the horizon is across, down. This is an angle of depression here. Angle of depression is outside the triangle word problem you're trying to find. It's always outside. You can think of angle of depression in relation to the movement of your eyes. You're standing at the top of the lighthouse and you are looking straight ahead. You must depress or look down your eyes to see the boat in the water. In fact, because these are two parallel lines and this is a transversal, this angle here, x, is the same, so the angle of depression is actually the same as the angle of elevation because these are two parallel lines cut by a transversal. So you are able to solve the problem, angle of depression problem, by putting the x where the angle of elevation would be, because the angle of elevation is equal to the angle of depression. So the most important thing on these problems is to create your diagram. Again, this is your 35 degrees here, and then they'll probably give you some sort of information in terms of how high the lighthouse was or how far from the boat it was, and you're going to find missing sides or missing angles on problems like this. In this case, they obviously gave you the angle, so you'd be finding the missing sides. So here's some practice problems. We have a kite with a string 150 feet long. So if you've ever flown a kite, it's kind of out at an angle. That's the kite, and there's the string. This is 150 feet long and makes an angle of 45 degrees with the ground. Here's your 45 degrees. Assuming that the string is straight, how high is the kite? How high is the kite is like the elevation, so it's that angle right, it's this length right here. So again, in terms of this angle 45 degrees here, x is opposite. And 150 is the hypotenuse. And the trig ratio that deals with opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So the sine of 45 degrees, sine of 45 degrees equals opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 150. We're going to solve this by multiplying each side by 150. X is going to be equal to 150 sine 45. Ignore that line. So go to your calculator, find that calculator. Make sure it's still set in degree mode, so your mode is set to degree. And you're going to type in 150 sine 45 degrees. And it's going to tell you that that length is 106.066 feet. as our feet above the ground. So that's the height of the kite. Next problem. A tree 10 meters high. So here's a tree. So we know that the height of this tree is 10 meters. It casts a 17.3 meter shadow. Shadow would be on the ground. And we want to find the angle of elevation of the sun. So this is the edge of the shadow looking at the top of the tree. That is your angle of elevation here. So again, you have to figure out which trig ratio, in this case, what you're going to be doing for the problem. You are given 10, which is opposite. You are given 17.3, which is adjacent. And again. So if we have opposite and adjacent, we are solving with tan. Now, we are solving for an angle. So remember, when we solve for angles, we are using tan inverse. X is equal to tan inverse. We talked about that yesterday. Of, sorry about that big line again, 10 over x. No, it's not. This is line, sorry. Of 10 over 17.3, and that gives you x. Okay, so go back to your calculator. Find tan inverse, second tan of opposite, which is 10, divided by adjacent, which is 17.3. I have an x parentheses here, which probably wouldn't cause problems, but I'm going to leave that. Nope, deleted the whole thing. Try second tan. 10 divided by 17.3. And it tells you it's 30.029 degrees. That is the angle of elevation of the sun. Finally, an airplane is flying at an altitude of 12,000 meters. So it is 12,000 meters above the ground. You know, all these problems are right triangles. So it is 12,000 meters above the ground. From the pilot, the angle of depression to the airport tower, 32 degrees. So from horizon looking down is 32 degrees. How far is the tower? The tower's over here from a point directly beneath the plane. So this is x here. The tower is here, the plane is up here. So we are trying to find x. Now the problem is 32 degrees is outside. Remember that that angle of depression is the same as the angle of elevation. So again, two parallel lines kept by a transversal, alternate interior angles are congruent. So we're going to now move the 32 down there. We have opposite and we have adjacent. So we're going to use tangent tan 32 equals opposite, which is 12,000 over x. You multiply both sides through by x, and you have x tan 32 equals 12,000. You can divide by 12,000, and x could be, sorry, you can divide 12,000 by tangent 32. Notice that the solving on this one is different than the problems we did earlier with the x's in the denominator here. So 12,000 divided by tangent 32. And again, we're solving for a side, so we're not using inverse tangent. And that gives you the fact that the distance from the tower, base of the tower, spot beneath the plane is 19,204.014 meters. Now, depending on which class period this is, you either will have time to start your homework or you will not have time to start your homework. Your homework is the next page in the packet. We're going to do 6 to 11. So you're not doing 12. There is some extra room up top. You're not going to have enough room to do this right underneath it in most cases. So you need a picture for each. I need to see the trig statement you're solving with, and I need the answer. And I will be checking both homework assignments, this one and the last one, when I see you again on Monday. So have a nice weekend, and be good. Thank you.